to get on here and introduce you to somebody that I just met. She is a team member of mine, and I am so enamored by her and the things that she knows and has shared with us, because this is new territory we're tromping on right now, and we really need to know some things about it. So I wanted to tell you first, we just got a new product. This is a new discovery, and this product has actually quadrupled the company of the size of our 10-year company. And it is crazy. It's sold out 4 times. We keep getting it back. If you want to try it, you need to get your order in. And we would love for you to be part of this growth and what's going on with our company. But for now, I just want you to learn a little bit about what this product is doing for people. So this is Renee McLaughlin. You're not kin to Sarah, are you?
No.
Oh, well, I love her. Renee is a health and fitness coach and trainer, and she has helped thousands of women with their health and fitness. And we are so blessed to have her on our team and helping us learn as we go. So, Renee, I just wanted to talk with you about a few things. I'm just going to give you my things that I wanted you to touch on, and then you can just take it from there. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Okay. So what I would like to know is, tell me the damages that problems with insulin cause to our body. Does it affect longevity, the longevity of us? And also, how sold are you on taking it? What has it done for you? And do you plan on taking it from now on? Can you take that and just tell me about it?
Sure. Thanks for asking me, Kelly, and I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit about the product and learning a little bit more about how our bodies work and why it is so important to really modulate our blood sugars in order to really lower any high insulin levels. And insulin resistance, I think, is one of the biggest problems that we have from a health standpoint in our country. And actually now we've exported it throughout the world. Lucky us, right? Mm-hmm. So, if you take a look even back 50 years ago, I always find this so fascinating, Kelly. If I watch movies, even from the 70s and 80s, where you and I are very close in age, mm-hmm. right, working up, watch them again this time. And when you do, notice how tiny the people are. Now, yes, the actors and actresses were extremely tiny, probably unhealthily so on some of them, right? We were in the Twiggy era. But I'm also just talking about, quote, man on the street. Right? Man on the street. You might see somebody a little bit, overweight, but for the most part, the population was very steadily thin, or at least at a, quote, normal weight. Mm-hmm. Now look, as we've come all the way up to now, the majority of Americans are overweight and or obese.
Wow.
The children are overweight and obese. Huh. We're in an epidemic. So you've got to take a look at why. Like, why? Now, there are a lot of people that say, oh, well, we used to go outside and run and walk, and now we're mostly sitting. Okay, I'll give you that. We're more sedentary. We know that we need to be moving more, right? We need to figure out how in our day we can get more movement. That's one thing. But number 2, our food supply is simply not what it was. Most of us eat mostly processed foods. And let's face it, our food, big pharma, right? Their whole goal is not to create healthy people in a healthy society. Their goal is money. That's capitalism at its best and at its worst, right? But we, as human beings, do have the ability to choose what we're going to be putting in our mouths. Yeah. Correct? Mm-hmm. Now, let's face it. That processed food tastes terrific. Mm-hmm. it's sweet and it's salty and it's crunchy and we love it because those food scientists have figured out exact formulas to addict us. No, we can't get mad at them. They are doing exactly what they do. That's their character and their nature and their business.
Mhm.
It's our jobs to decide, do we want to continue to eat that food and then experience the side effects that we're getting from that? And as a society, we see what those side effects are now.
Yes.
Yes, it's obesity. It is in weight. Okay. But that's not the only side effect. How many of us don't have good energy? Do you know that fatigue is one of the biggest reasons that people visit a doctor?
Yeah.
Fatigue, brain fog. Honestly, Kelly, I don't know how 3/4 of Americans manage to get up and do a job each day. I don't know how mothers manage to do that and raise children and work and everything else when we are so, our blood sugar's all over the place. We're tired. We're not sleeping. We've got brain fog. It's amazing what all we actually do get done. But imagine how much more productive and happy we would be if we didn't have all that. How about the amount of depression, the amount of stress, correct? Hormone imbalance,
Yes.
PCOS. I mean, we can go on and on. Cardiovascular disease. All of these things are side effects of eating toxic food.
Wow.
Sugar, salt, and seed oils. It simply is. This isn't a big, oh my gosh, I'm shocked. We've known this. Just look, it's right in front of us.
Mhm.
Now, believe me, I do have an empathy, a huge empathy for people, especially who are in lower incomes, where they live in what we call a food desert, where are they even going to come up with good, fresh vegetables, nice, good, clean, lean protein? I'm not here trying to solve the world's food problems. I'm just sharing that this is where we are at. And with all of that, what happens is our bodies and our body cells become resistant to insulin. And, there's so much information out there. I have a lot of videos and we'll continue to talk about it because I just want to make people aware. Listen, if you know, then you have information to make better choices
Exactly.
when and if you can.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's all I'm doing. Insulin resistance is the biggest issue, I believe, in chronic illness today. It simply is. Now, let's bring it all the way forward now to this incredible new tool we have. When I saw that there is now a product, a natural plant-based product, not a medication, not something you need an injection for, not something that you need a prescription for, but a tool that we can put in to our longevity program that will actually help us. It's not going to do it all for us, but help us begin to modulate the blood sugar levels, which can then allow our insulin to start to go down. And over time, allow our cells to become more sensitive to that insulin, meaning it's going to open up and allow the sugar into the cells, allow our cells to work much more functionally the way they need to, allow us to begin to burn our body's own storage form of energy. Do you know what that is, Kelly? Do you know what
Actually, I do. I have plenty of energy.
We are all sitting on this incredible amount of energy
Yes.
in the form of fat cells. But if we can't modulate the blood sugar, I don't even want to just say lower it because that gives people, oh, then it's too low and it's too this. Okay, we need to modulate these and allow then the insulin to start to come down so that now, instead of us always being sugar burners, and higher and more insulin just to get that sugar in there, okay, now we can start to use the storage form of energy we have, which are our fat cells. And then we can start to shrink, right? And that's one of the things that we are seeing in our groups and with our clients is that, you know, a lot of times I always love it, especially because I've worked with women mostly, and we consider the scale to be our God. Do we not? We get on it in the morning. That God tells us whether or not we're going to have a good day or a bad day.
I actually have a conversation with my scale every morning saying, I am not getting on you until Wednesday.
Right? But the scale lies. It doesn't really tell us the whole truth. Okay. So that's why I always recommend to my clients, yes, measurements, but even measurements sometimes, you know, exactly where are we doing it? You know, I'm a firm believer in taking pictures, and especially taking pictures of our side and our back. And one of the reasons I love back pictures is because you can actually see where your body is beginning to burn or utilize our fat cells. And then we're not looking at our face. It's just not quite so emotional because let's face it, weight is emotional.
Yeah.
It shows our pain. It shows what we're going through. It's emotional. It's triggering.
Mm-hmm.
And these kinds of conversations can be so triggering for people. We get into a whole thing about shame. We're ashamed of ourselves. Oh, how often do we hear, I was bad yesterday. I was so bad. I had a cookie.
Yeah.
I'm like, you were bad. Who did you murder? You had a cookie. Here's another good one. I cheated.
Yes.
Who did you cheat? You cheated yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
And here's something that I really want to get across to people. When you are eating this processed food and too much sugar and your blood sugar is all out of whack, you crave the sugar. Please understand this is addictive, right? So when you see an alcoholic who goes off and has a drink and you think, you know, sugar is more addictive than alcohol is. We are addicted. And so if you can just get yourself to a place that you detox, and yes, it can be challenging like it is for an alcoholic. But if you can finally do that, wean yourself off of it, use our new product to help you do that. Now, what you're going to see is, guess what? I'm looking at that cookie, and you know what? I don't have to have it.
Yeah.
Right, Rhonda? Or Rhonda, sorry. I'm used to Rhonda interviewing me. Right, Kelly? I mean, now it's like, okay, I can look at that cookie and just go, yeah, it looks good, you know, but I don't have to have it. And all of a sudden you start to realize, wow, it wasn't that you don't have willpower. It's not that you're a weak person and you don't have discipline. That's not it. Look at the rest of your life. Look at all that you've done. No, it's that your biochemistry is controlling you.
Interesting. So interesting.
Isn't it?
It is.
Turn it on its head. It's not you. It's your biochemistry. And balance that out. And all of a sudden, everything shifts for you.
I can attest to that. I used to have an issue with all those cookies and things singing to me in my pantry. And I've had cookies in my pantry for I don't know how long, and they don't sing to me anymore. It quiets the voices, and I love that about it. So
Beautiful, Kelly, right? It's just amazing. Now, I want to address one other thing. I think you might have mentioned it too. People will say, oh, Renee, will it help me? I don't have blood sugar issues. And I'm like, really? Having a hard time losing weight? Yeah. Craving sugar? Oh, yeah. Got brain fog? Yeah. Tired in the afternoon? Yeah. You got blood sugar issues. You just don't realize what's causing that. And you know what? You can go and have yourself done a fasting glucose and all this, and it might not still diagnose you with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get off the sugar, and when I say sugar, I'm not just talking about, cookies and that kind of thing. Anything that turns to sugar, especially high glycemic things that spike and then drop quickly. So things like your white rice, your white breads, these kinds of things, cereal, all these kinds of things are still, and I'm even talking whole grains.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they still break down into carbs. And if you're sensitive to carbs, it's still going to give you that. So if you're having that trouble, you do have blood sugar control issues, whether you recognize it or not.
And so, can you just tell us a little bit about what this Transform can do to help with those issues?
Absolutely. So what it does is it's going to go into the bloodstream and grab some of the sugar, those sugar molecules, and it's really just an amazing technology. It really is. And by the way, you guys, just so you know, it is proprietary and it is exclusive to our company Trinot. So if you happen to see something out there, sugar to fiber, I've seen some on Amazon, they do not have the special glucose converting enzyme, nor do they have the additional product that they put in there, grains of paradise, which just also helps our body burn that extra fat. So it really is a tremendous product, and it is exclusive. So when you take that, it will go in, it will pull sugar from the bloodstream, take apart the molecules, and then reform them into a long chain polysaccharide called alpha glucan, which is known to be a gut healthy prebiotic, meaning it's going to help feed the gut bacteria. Because what we also know from so much research now, that gut brain connection, and we're all talking microbiome, and everybody's microbiome, the good gut flora is so, everybody's is completely different. So there is not one thing that works. And by the way, then if you add our gut healthy enriched product, it really helps as well. But that's what's happening. So, we eat, and as we're eating, depending on what we're eating, the blood sugar is going to go up. It goes up regardless of what you're eating. It will go higher with some foods and not as high with others. Some foods that are high glycemic will raise it and then crash it. That's when we get this going on. Some will raise it and take a little bit longer to drop down. So it's very individual. It's individual to a person. But that's what's happening. So that way, as it starts to lower the high spikes and modulate the low drops, now the amount of insulin that our body needs to produce in order to get that blood sugar into the cells starts to come down. And that's when we start getting those really good benefits.
So, what you're actually telling me in layman's terms is that anything that I eat that turns into sugar, be it sugar or breads or starches or whatever, that this Transform is going to take some of that sugar in the food that I ate and convert it
into fiber.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a call and I need to get back to
The
you.
joys of doing these online, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you still see me?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, I'm just not going to worry about it then, because I don't know. I'm sorry. Woo. Anyway, So that is just totally cool. And I wanted to say also to you that I saw your pictures, and man, I am going to get I've got some pictures that I took, and I'm going to get mine out and take some more because I need to see that, because what you're saying is those pictures are going to tell the truth way better than that scale. So
Right? So
anyway,
if I would have just put, oh, look at me. First of all, let's face it, eyebrow roll on my pictures, right? In that, I've been doing the blood sugar balance. I've been eating in a way that I balance my blood sugar. I move all the time. I resistance train. I get good sleep. I mean, I've been living this talk for a long time. And
uh-huh.
so for those of you out there that are also doing the same thing, but still, you saw I have just a little fluff, was that going to stop me from being happy or being healthy? No. But it's interesting that you can see, even if you don't have much or much to lose. I'm 65, so even I don't want to hear I'm too old. No, 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 you are not. Um, it's going to work regardless. And the other thing that I like to say about it, Kelly, is that this product works. And what I mean by works is it is a mechanical action. In other words, it's not pushing the body to do something that the body doesn't want to do. Okay. I.e., there's all these new drugs and injections. I'm not going to get into all that, except to say that is pushing the body to do something that the body's not doing now. That might be good for some people to jumpstart or whatever. Not saying yay or nay to that. It's very individual to a person and to their medical professional. But what I will say is it's like, you take a digestive enzyme. Why? Because our stomachs aren't producing as much enzyme anymore, especially as we get older. We need digestive enzymes, especially as we get older. Our body stops producing enough to break our food down so we can absorb the nutrients, right?
Yes.
Well, what does this do? It actually takes the sugar molecules and breaks it down and turns it into fiber. It's going to do that. Regardless, it's a mechanical action.
Yes, 100% of the time it does that.
Right. Now, some people might, not enjoy the feeling or claim that, it might upset their stomach a little bit. That's going to happen with, a small minority of people. But let's face it, we all are so individual, right? Do I know people that react to lettuce? So you can't, there is no one thing that is going to react in somebody's body the exact same way. There just isn't. But for a large majority of us, absolutely, you'll see a difference. You'll feel a difference.
Yes. You know what? I so appreciate you coming on here with me and helping us learn a little bit today. I am all about learning what I can do to be healthier longer. My goal in this life is to be healthy until I'm gone, and that my children do not have to take care of me, that I can just be a joy in their life. And so that is my goal, and this is going to help me do that. And I so appreciate you. I'm so glad to have you on our team, and watching you and listening to you all the time. And I'm just going to let you go here, if that's okay, because we could talk all day.
Good. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. I always love just sharing information that might make somebody else's life just a little bit sweeter.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.